Home and away spoilers. Lacey stays silent as Theo fights for his life. Next week on Home and Away in the UK. As Theo remains in critical condition in hospital, will Lacey help Cash bring Gage down? Yet another life is on the line next week, as Theo is rushed to hospital following his ordeal with the River Boys. Theo's secret romance with Lacey, the girlfriend of River Boy leader Gage Reynolds, finally caught up with him this week, when Gage enacted a brutal revenge. After spotting the pair sharing a kiss in Theo's car, Gage lured Theo to meet him under the pretense of organizing another illegal street race. When Theo arrived, he quickly realized there was no race and that Gage wanted to talk. While Theo initially assumed Gage was backing out of letting him race, the truth soon became clear when his car was driven into the garage and lifted onto a hydraulic ramp. As Lacey nervously asked Gage to let Theo go, Gage coldly revealed that he knew about the affair. Theo was then seized by the River Boys, tied up, and forced underneath the car lift. Gage took the control remote and began lowering the vehicle toward Theo, ignoring his panicked pleas and Lacey's desperate attempts to intervene. While Lacey tried to reason with Gage, she managed to discreetly send a text to Sonny with their location. Sonny raced to the depot but was ambushed outside and violently beaten by one of Gage's crew before he could get to Theo. Inside, Gage continued to torment Theo, finally lowering the car onto his chest despite pleas from both Theo and Lacey. Gage forced Lacey to flee with him after damaged the lift controls, leaving Theo trapped and slipping into unconsciousness. Sonny eventually regained consciousness and returned to find Theo unresponsive, crushed under the car. With no working control unit and time running out, Sonny scrambled to find his phone and summon help. As we return to the action this week, Theo's life is hanging in the balance as he's rushed into Northern District's hospital. Bree's on call, and arrives at the hospital just in time for paramedic Joe to hand Theo over to them. As Cash turns up, Sonny is quick to berate him for not picking up his earlier phone calls. Dana shoos them both out, urging Sonny to let someone take a look at his own injuries. After ringing Justin and Leah to inform them, Cash presses Sonny for answers, only to learn he'd been hauled outside and roughed up, missing the whole thing and unable to confirm whether Gage had been the one to lower the car. All he is able to report is that he caught the nickname of one of the guys who had beaten him up, Spanner. Bree and Levi quickly determine that Theo has a massive amount of fluid around his heart, meaning they'll have to perform an urgent pericardiocentesis. The pair perform the procedure and Theo stabilizes, but he's not out of the woods just yet. A frantic Leah and Justin arrive at the hospital, and after Theo is transferred to a side room, Levi explains to them that he had been trapped under a car. Levi warns the pair that whilst he's currently stable, there are still potential complications which may require emergency surgery. Leah and Justin go to Theo's bedside, where the reality of the situation begins to hit home. When Remy arrives, Justin is quick to point the finger at Sonny. Justin has recently discovered Theo's association with the River Boys, and assumed that Sonny was the one who got him involved with them. Remy is quick to jump to Sonny's defense, however, knowing that he had been trying to persuade Theo to back away. The reason Theo is in ICU is because he slept with the River Boy's girlfriend. Remy reveals, that's not on Sonny. Justin's taken aback, but barely has time to react before Theo goes into arrest, as Bree and Levi spring into action. Back at the River Boys hangout, Cash tries to dig for answers but gets nowhere when he asks if anyone knows a Spanner. He runs an ID check on one of the guys, Edmund, not realizing he's got the right man standing in front of him. Clocking that Lacey might be his best shot, Cash invites her down to the station for a chat. She keeps her cool, but Gage isn't thrilled at the idea of her going off alone. Insisting there's nothing to hide, he offers to come along, with Edmund in tow. Meanwhile, as Theo is rushed into surgery, Justin and Leah feel that someone has to pay for this. For Justin, the blame sticks with Sonny. Dana has noticed Sonny hiding how injured he actually is, and when Justin shows up ready to have a go, it only takes the smallest of shoves for Sonny to end up on the floor in pain. Bree and Dana jump in to deal with him, noticing excessive bruising on his ribs. But Sonny's not exactly cooperative. All he cares about is what's happening with Theo. When Bree points out that he could have internal bleeding, Sonny reluctantly agrees to undergo a quart. At the station, Cash gets nowhere fast with Gage, who's smug as ever and wastes no time taking a dig at Cash's soft spot, Eden. But it's the conversation with Lacey that gives Cash something to work with. She clearly cares about what's happened to Theo, and he correctly deduces that the two were seeing each other behind Gage's back. Cash tries to assure Lacey that they can protect her from Gage if she speaks out. But Lacey doesn't let her facade drop. As she walks out with Gage when the interview is over, Cash can tell he's rattled her. Theo is later returned to the ward where Bree tells Justin and Leah that the surgery was successful. But there's no guarantee that it won't happen again. Even if he does wake up now, there's still a huge risk of complications. Bree explains, all Justin and Leah can do now is wait by Theo's bedside. Later, looking through suspect photos, Sonny confirms to Cash that Edmund is Spanner. Although it doesn't help Theo, it finally gives Cash enough to arrest Spanner for the assault on Sonny. As he returns to the River Boys compound to take Spanner in, Cash asks about Lacey's whereabouts. Gage brushing off his question only raises Cash's suspicions. As it turns out, Lacey has gone to the hospital, where Sonny informs her that the Theo's situation is critical and urges her to speak up. It doesn't take long for Cash to hear about Lacey's visit, as he remains hopeful that she can be convinced to make a statement against Gage. But when he swings by the River Boys' place, Lacey is already back at Gage's side, looking like nothing's changed. Cash is left wondering where she really stands until she later walks into the station and asks if his offer of protection is still on the table. Will Lacey find the courage to turn her back on Gage? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.